knowledge, there is no more left over. There is nothing more left over. Ashesha. Here the word Shesha means something left over. But Krishna is saying, this knowledge is such a knowledge that there is no Asheshataha, there is nothing left over. Whatever I have to give, everything I have given in this book, Bhagavad Gita. There is no Shesha, everything is there. And therefore he says, this is complete knowledge, Samagram Mam. This is a complete knowledge. And Jnatavyam Avishishyate. This is a Vishesha, this is a very special knowledge. It's not ordinary knowledge, it's a Vishesha Jnana. So therefore, by mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we also received this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita as it is version. So we call this Bhagavad Gita as it is because there is no misinterpretation in this. Whatever Krishna spoke in this knowledge, that knowledge is coming as it is in a disciplic succession without any changes. There are so many authors who has given a commentary on Bhagavad Gita, but many times they have put their own concocted ideas into that. Sloka will be the same, but the translation purport will be according to their views. There was one of the author, the ex-president of India, he was saying, Manmana bhav madbhakto madhyajimam namaskuru. He was saying that Manmana bhav madbhakto, that means you surrender to Krishna and think about Krishna always. It's not about Krishna actually. There is something within Krishna. What is something within Krishna? Krishna inside and outside is the same. He is Sachitananda Swarupa, Ishvara Parma, Krishna Sachitananda Vigraha. What is this concocted idea? And there is another person who says, Sarvasya Chaham Hridi Sannivishto. Here Cha means Krishna is saying you drink tea. So all these concocted ideas are coming up. People give so many misinterpretations. They speak on the same Bhagavad Gita and they want to prove that Krishna is not God but we are all gods. So there are so many bogus philosophers. So therefore Prabhupada is a bona fide Acharya coming from a bona fide Sampradaya and he's teaching the words of Bhagavad Gita, which like actually whatever Krishna spoke, that same words he's giving in a as it is way. That's why when we take shelter of this Bhagavad Gita as it is, definitely there is a transformation happen in our life. We see that the result today. This Bhagavad Gita is not only accepted, it's not a Hindu scripture. First of all, we should understand that it's not a Hindu scripture. And Hindu, there is no word called as Hindu in Vedas. It's a Sanatana Dharma and it is applicable to each and every living entity. It's a universal knowledge. So Prabhupada proved this. It is not meant for a particular sect of people. No. This is a universal knowledge for each and everyone. And one who have this conviction, what he does, he sincerely reads. And by reading this Bhagavad Gita, what he does, Janma Sartak Kori, he perfects his life and then he also wants to give this message to others. He preaches about this Gita. Janma Sartak Kari, Karo Paropakar. So that's what we have to do. So we have to perfect our life by taking shelter of Bhagavad Gita. And at the same time, we have to do Paropakar. That means we have to help others by giving this transcendental knowledge. This is the knowledge, this is the most best charity among all the charities. You may give a person a food or some clothing or little money, but that is not going to solve his ultimate problems in life. But if you give this transcendental knowledge, the message of God, if he even understands a single word from this Bhagavad Gita, that means his life is successful. One day, he will try to cross over this ocean of material sufferings and go back to Krishna. And there, once he goes back to Krishna, there is no more suffering, no more janma mrityu jara vyadhi, punarapi manaram, punarapi maranam, puranapi jana, punarapi jagare shayanam. It's all, no need to have these miseries. We are completely free from miserable situation and we have eternal blissful life in the abode of Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna. I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gita Jayanti Mahamahotsav ki jai. Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Jai Gaur Premanande. Questions? Anyone has some questions or comments?
I had a question.
Yes, Prabhupada, please.
So it's 8,400,000 species, different species. And this human body is like, although it's one of those 8,400,000 species, it's like a special form. It's a loophole for us to get out of this, cross over this nishi. So how do we understand that when Krishna incarnates as like Matsya, the different species, that the fish, he's helping the fish? Because I thought it was only in the human form that we're able to get out of this loophole.
So, as we said that Avataraha Sankhyanam, the Lord manifests himself as Matsya, the fish incarnation also. So how to understand that Krishna as Matsya is coming and helping us? So if you read Bhagavatam, 8th canto, there is a description of Matsya. So here, Lord appears as a Matsya in order to, like Brahmaji was sleeping, and one day there was a demon called as Hayagriva who stole Vedas from the mouth of Brahma. Now how he stole, that is a different question. But he stole. So again, to reinstate this Vedic knowledge back to Brahmaji, the Lord appears as the form of Matsya, and he protects this Vedas and again gives back to Brahmaji. So like that, the various incarnations have various purposes. The Lord comes as a Narsimha to protect his devotees. The Lord comes as a, like we see all these incarnations here behind, you can see the paintings. So there is a purpose. Like we call them, like Lord appears in every yuga, is called as Yuga Avatara. He appears in every Manvantara, is called as Manvantara Avatara. He takes a particular guna and appears in his Guna Avatara. He appears, he performs particular leelas, so he's called as Leela Avatara. There are various incarnations for various purposes. So there is a purpose behind each and every incarnation. Did I answer your question?
Well, I guess my question is how are the fish helped? You know, I know it helps, they had the incarnation, had a purpose for the humans, but I'm just wondering about like the...
So you want to say like fish, how they got helped by
Because I think you mentioned
Matsya.
that earlier.
So when the Lord appeared in the form of Matsya, like he was in the ocean. So among that ocean there are many other fishes also. So they get delivered. And in the same way, there is a pastime in connection with the Sripada Ramanujacharya. So it's happened in South India in one holy place. He takes prasada and just sprinkles the prasada he just washes the hand and sprinkles the water into a pond. And the remnants were accepted by the fish, and immediately they transformed their fish, they got a 400 form and they immediately left to Vaikuntha. So that's how fish they got delivered. So there are many things in Puranas. Even the small, lowly creatures, rather human beings, they also get delivered by the mercy of Krishna and his devotees. Any other points?
The interesting analogy always given that one has to be a devotee to receive the Bhagavad Gita, because it said that Bhaktosya Sakhacheti. At the same time, to receive, the purpose of Bhagavad Gita also to become a devotee. So, until you don't become a devotee, you don't understand this. And to become a devotee, you have to understand this.
That's a good question. So therefore, the scriptures, his question is, unless we become a devotee, we don't understand the scriptures. And once we become a devotee, then we come to understand the scriptures. So here the answer is, like when you are not a devotee in a conditioned stage, the scriptures actually helps like a aushadha, like a medicine. So here, once you get connected with the scriptures, you are free from all this bhavaroga. And once you are liberated, you become a devotee, then you start relishing the scriptures. So actually the devotional life begins when in a liberated stage. So even Paramahamsas, they relish Bhagavatam. So, but in initial stage we say we do as a sadhana bhakti. We do Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, and in this way, what happens? Srunvatam Sukata Krishna Punya Sravana Kirtana Hrudayam Tasthya Bhadrani. When we sincerely attempt to hear, then all the abhadras, contaminated things are eradicated from our heart. When all the contamination is gone, then we start relishing Bhagavatam. So in both the ways, the Bhagavatam is helping us.
Maybe we can understand in this way that if you just read, you come to a conclusion that I must seek a spiritual master. Probably from there, you may not understand Krishna, but at least maybe Krishna gives an understanding. You know, to understand me, you must have possessed bona fide spiritual master.
Yeah, therefore Krishna says, Tadvidhi Pranipadena Pariprashnena Seva Padyakshanti Gyante Gyaninas Tattvadarshi. Tadvidhi. There is a procedure. What is the procedure? You approach a spiritual master. Pariprashnena Sevaya. You Pranipata. First thing is Pranipatas. You surrender to him. It's not that you go to Guru and challenge him. That how much knowledge you have shown. Pranipata, you surrender. And Pariprashnena Sevaya. By asking questions, you serve him. In this way, when the Guru is pleased, he awards this. He is Tattvadarshi. So he awards this knowledge mercifully. This is a procedure explained in Bhagavad Gita. Stop here. Jai Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Gaur